Hi everyone, my name is Ian Stewart, and this is my wish list final budget cuts that I made. So, starting off, here is a list of all the sports. There was a total of 25 sports, and with those totals adding up to $181,839.33 for the total budget before the final cuts were made. And in red here is the budget that we were given, the 92,000. So the amount that we needed to cut was $89,839.33. So you see in yellow here, this is everything that I cut in each sport, how much I cut. So you notice each sport got a cut. In the green, this came out the final total, and so the total budget was $90,801.66. So now I'm going to go through and show you what I cut and why. For baseball, started out with about almost $21,000. I cut out the scoreboard, and I cut down on the hats. I cut down on the scoreboard because the one that we have now is functional. It doesn't need to be replaced right now. And hats, 96 hats for a team is a lot. I don't know if they ordered more for fundraising or for what, so I cut the hats down to 55. That still might be a little too high. You could also cut that down a little more, but I feel like 55 was enough, and in case they wanted to sell a few, or if something ever happened to some hats of the players or coaches, they'd have a little extra. So with cutting those two budgets out, I got a final budget of $5,346.49. Boys basketball. I cut down all the basketballs from 25 to 20. So that cut down the cost a little bit to $959.84. And then I cut down on the shooting machine. Yeah, it would be nice to have a shooting machine, but I think that if you're at a smaller school, then it's not going to be worth getting a shooting machine. That's why you get a partner to go in and shoot with you. The travel gear, I've grown to being used to shirt and tie traveling to games. So I think the travel gear really isn't necessary, so I decided to cut that out. And then shoes, I feel like teams shouldn't have team shoes, because I feel like as a coach and as an athletic director, I want my players and student athletes to be comfortable in what they're playing in and not be forced to wear something within a team. So with those four being cut out and reduced, the total new total for boys basketball, is $4,661.69. Girls basketball. I cut out the uniforms. I cut it down from 15 to 12 because you only need 12 uniforms to suit up for a varsity team. So that cut the cost down to $1,740. Shooting shirts, I cut those down to 12 as well, because you only need the same amount of shooting shirts as varsity, and that dropped it down to $900 for that. Whistles, coaches can go out and buy their own whistles. I feel like the school doesn't need to provide a whistle. That's just my opinion, because if you can't afford a whistle, then you really don't need to be coaching, honestly. So new total for that came out $4,037.50. For softball, you're gonna have to get new softballs every year. Game balls, you're gonna have to get new game balls for every year. Helmets, having safety for the players, you're gonna have to get helmets. So that was a need. The pitching machine, I found that at a very reasonable price at $395.99 because I was figuring machines like that would cost around $1,100, $1,200, but for about $400 for a pitching machine, that we can keep that in the budget. Now I did cut down the bats from 4 to 3. I know it only cut down about $300, but I feel like you don't need to have 4. You could even cut the bats down to 2, getting 2 new bats every single year. So with that, it cut the cost down to $899.97, which became a new total of $2,375.80. Boys soccer. You're gonna have to get new soccer balls every year because they're gonna be kicked around. Some will become lumped or lopsided. So getting new soccer balls is a must every single year. The training discs, I feel like we could cut those down from 60 to 36. Just because I don't think you need 60 cones. 36 should cover practices and what's going to be needed in games. A Nike training bib 16. Not 100% sure on what that is, so I cut it down from 30 to 20 to give this a little more flexibility on getting new uniforms and some of these other essential needs that are going to be needed for games like Premier Corner Flags, and then an Ozark Trail Sunwall Canopy. You can, for $2 or for $19, you can get 2 of them. That's reasonable price. Ladder agility, as agility is real important in soccer, so I feel like that was a necessity for the soccer team. Training hurdles, probably maybe could have done without those, but I let those in there for skill development and practices. Uniforms, that's not a bad price for uniforms, especially when you have to get 60 of them. So with those being reduced, the disc and the training bib, the new total came out $3,402.33. Girls soccer, I cut down on the Adidas soccer ball because boys and girls soccer I feel like could use the same soccer balls. So I cut down to 10 for them, which cut it in half from $400 to $200. A mesh ball bag, I cut it down from 2 to 1, so you can put 10 soccer balls in one mesh bag. So with us cutting the soccer balls down, you only need one mesh bag. Soccer goalie gloves, I've cut those out because I feel like the goalie should be able to play with what they feel comfortable playing with glove wise, so they need to go out and purchase their own. So that cut down on that. And then the soccer goal with wheels, I cut it down from 2 to 1. I feel like you can replace goals every year, so we'll start out replacing one year, and then we'll replace the other for the next year. So that cut the budget down and cut that down from $5,490 to $2,754. But for the next year, gotta keep in mind we're gonna need another $2,745 so we can buy another goal. And then the long sleeve shirts, I cut those out. I feel like if the coaches want to buy a long sleeve shirt, they need to buy it out of their own pockets. Soccer socks is a must. You want the team to be looking good and as a unity, as a unit. Soccer shorts, you're gonna need those, and then t-shirts for the players, so basically their uniforms, you're gonna need those, and flags. I probably could have cut that out because we could use the same flag set as the boys soccer. No need for both programs to be buying soccer or corner flags. So with those being cut out and reduced, the new total came out to $4,585. Boys track, track team uniform pack for 30 of them, $87.90. Came out $2,637. the batons, you're gonna need to get new batons, because I know in a lot of track meets they restrict batons with dents and scratches on it, because I think that could be a playing advantage. So we need to be able to make sure that we keep batons updated and in good condition. Stopwatches, it's important for practices and in meets. So you can buy 3 packs of 10 for $3.95. I thought that was really reasonable for stopwatches. Hard rubber discus, I cut those from 4 to 2. If you're able to take care of the ones every year, you don't need to buy 4 new ones every year. So I cut that from 4 to 2. So from 55.80 to 27.90. I cut the shots down from 4 to 2. So from 91 to 80, 91.80 to $44. Starting blocks. Starting blocks, we'll buy 2 new ones this year, and then in the budget next year we wouldn't have to buy new starting blocks. Aluminum hurdles, but I cut those down from 10 to 5. We could buy 5 this year and then 5 more next year. Pole vault package, I cut those out, and then along with that, you wouldn't need to buy the pole vaulting poles, or you could keep the pole vaulting poles, but then next year you can buy the pole vault package. So with cutting down on those and cutting out some of the other stuff, the total from was $21,930, but cutting all those out, it came out to $4,830.90. Girls track, I cut out the javelin from 2 to 1. I feel like you only need 1 javelin you can share between your team, so that cut the cost in half. Shot put discus, 2 and 2. Girls discus and girls shot put is going to be a smaller size from boys shot and discus, so we will need to buy 2 new of each for those. Scorebook, I've never heard of a scorebook for track, so I kept that in there. Just $21, it's not a big deal. The batons, I cut those out of the budget because I feel like the men's and women's track team can share batons. So that cut out $11.97. Uniforms and shorts. So you got uniforms and shorts, which are a necessity for track meets, because if you're on a relay you have to look the same. You can't have different uniforms or anything like that. I cut out the stopwatch because the boys track already bought 30, so they can share between those. A rake, we can go ahead and just use the rake that's already there, or if it's not there, we can go ask the maintenance people if we can use their rake during the season. Speed ladder, I cut that out. We can go ahead and use the speed ladder that's already in the program. Shelter, which is going to be like a canopy, I left that in there because track meets can last usually all day. And hurdle cart, I just feel like that's a want and not a need, so I cut that out. So cutting down on the javelin, cutting out these, cut the cost from $4,452.86 to $3,562.96. Boys volleyball, cut out the team shoes again. I'm not a big team shoe person. You need to play in what you feel comfortable in playing in. Warm-up pants, I don't think you need warm-up pants in volleyball. Just my personal opinion, I've never seen that before. Though away uniforms, at home uniforms is a need. Game uniform shorts is a need, and pullovers is what you need for warm-ups for boys volleyball. We're going to need 2 new ball carts because we're going to need to buy more practice balls. And then floor tape, I feel like that's a necessity. I cut out the net system and the referee stand. The net system we have is perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be replaced. The only thing that should need to be replaced is the net every so often, because the net breaks and the wires get cut and everything. So you can buy that separate from the whole system. Referee stand, those going to take a really long time to wear out, so I feel like that's not a need, that's a want. So for the boys volleyball, The cost came out $6,687.17 before the final cut out of everything, and the new total came out $1,956.77. Girls volleyball, buy more volleyballs, buy another cart. Volleyball net, go ahead and get that out. Buy a new volleyball net, not the whole system. That'll come out of the girls' budget. And uniforms, all necessities. Cut out the shoes again. I feel like everybody needs to be comfortable in what they play in. So total before the cutout was $3,389.53. The new total is $1,739.83. Football, I cut dummies. Dummies are very useful and needed in football. And the tackling wheel and the gloves, I didn't cut those out completely. I just cut them down in half. So the dummy and tackle wheel I cut from 4 to 2. And the gloves I cut from 80 to 50. You're not gonna have 80 kids on the team, so I feel like gloves need to be cut down. I cut those down to 50, which cut that cost in half. Even then, I feel like gloves is just an accessory. It's not. It's just to look good, honestly. But I kept them in just in case for the student athletes. So the new total came out $5,304.38. Wrestling, this was a big one, because it was hard to see what needed to be cut out, and what needs to be kept. I kept the mat cleaner, the mat mop, and the mat mop replacement head because cleanliness for this is big. It helps prevent spreading diseases from blood and sweat, because you get cut and hit all the time in wrestling, so those are a must to buy. You need to buy tape to keep the mats together and to draw out the outline. You're going to need a scorebook, hair slicker, face mask, and shower. Those are all things to get an advantage on your opponents. And then my big key item for this whole budget was the wrestling mat, because I feel like if you buy the wrestling mat, that wrestling mat will last a very long time. So $12,206, that seems like a very reasonable price for a wrestling mat. I cut out the dummies, the small, medium, and large. The two-piece singlets, I've cut those out as well. I feel like we don't need a team gear bag, and then team shoes again. You need to play in what you feel comfortable with. So with cutting all those out, the new total came out $15,897.29. Field hockey, I cut out the goals, the field hockey goals. I cut out the field hockey sticks, and I cut out the field hockey shin guards. I feel like the players should be able to buy their own shin guards, because shin guards will be different sizes, and the players need to get the size that is going to fit them right and protect them the right way. All these other things, goalie needs to have their own special hockey stick. Game balls, you're going to have to buy new ones of those every year. Goggles, safety protocol, helmets, uniforms. Those are all safety protocols and a must need to be able to play field hockey. So with cutting those three out, the new total came out $5,913.99. Cheerleading, gonna need to buy new pom poms. Feel like you're gonna have to buy those maybe every 2 or 3 years. I cut out the flex gloves. I feel like the cheerleaders can buy their own gloves. It's just an expense. But the cheer coach can say it needs to be a specific color, and then they can go buy their own gloves. I cut the stunt consultant and the dance consultant from 4 hours to 2 hours. I feel like that was reasonable to spend 2 hours a day with them instead of 4, which I feel like is a little excessive. So I cut it down to 2 hours, which cut those prices in half. Music, I know that's a big thing. You need to make sure you have approval on certain things. Warm-up jackets, warm-up pants, those are all essentials. So the new total came out $1,658. Girls lacrosse, another big sport that's going to be a big expense. I kept the lacrosse goals, the full field lining kit, the possession indicators, the stamped game balls, lacrosse training balls, as those are going to be need to be replaced every year. The package uniforms, women's goggles, I cut those out. I think they can go buy their own, and the coach can give them recommendations on what to get for this year. And then as we get more money in the budget, I feel like the school can then start paying for those because it is a safety thing. I cut out the lacrosse sticks. We should be able to use the ones that are already in place for another year. And then team shoes, again, I cut those out. Players need to play and what they're comfortable in and what they like. And then all the fleece gloves, the helmet, the throat protector, shin, chest pads, those are all safety protocols that I feel like the school needs to buy, and that way they are responsible for it, knowing that they have the right certification equipment. Dance team, they palms, different colors, purple and white. You need to buy those. Leotards, shorts, and tights, and costumes. As your dance team, you need to have the same costumes and same looking things. The heel white boots, gonna need to buy those because it's part of the costumes and the uniforms. I don't think they need to have backpacks with embroidery on it, so I cut that out of the budget. And I cut out the warm-up jacket, the pants, and the uniform, just because they've already bought in costume tights, shorts, and leotards. I feel like they can, for this year, can buy their own pants and wear sweatpants or something to events, and jackets or something. So I cut that budget to $2,709.24. Water polo. I cut out the short sleeve shirts, the swim parkers, the travel polos, sweatpants, and the jackets. Again, with the travel polos, I feel like you don't need those. Those are just a need, or just a want, not a need, as they can dress up with shirt and tie or wear their own polos. Sweatpants I cut out, jackets I cut out, and the swim parkers that can start racking up quick. So I feel like that they can wear their own sweatpants and jackets to warm up in and get ready to play in. CPR and first aid units, those are must need as you're dealing with water, being in water. You're going to need water polo balls, different sizes. Travel bags, those are alright. A pump and blowhorn to start and stop matches. You're going to need a scoreboard, as a scoreboard is going to be different from any other sport. You can't just go grab a baseball scoreboard and use it for water polo, because you're going to be inside a gym or inside of a pool area. So cutting those out cuts the new total to $5,127. Boys golf. Now, boys and girls golf, this is a very expensive sport. Even though you only have a certain amount of players, it can be expensive because you got to buy golf balls every year. You're going to have to buy tees. You have to buy team polos, as those are the uniforms. Rain gear, you should supply rain gears because you never know what the sport's going to be like, and golf bags. But in this case, I cut out the golf bags just because you're buying the rain gear, which is going to be pretty pricey. So I think this year you're going to have to buy student athletes are going to have to bring their own golf bags. If you already have golf clubs, you should already have your own golf bags. So for this year, you're going to need to have golf bags. Next year, we can get golf bags because we wouldn't have to buy everybody rain gear. So with cutting that out, it cut the cost down to $2,660.38. Girls golf, I cut out the shoes again. They need to get what they want to feel comfortable playing in and what they like. Polos and skirts, which is the pants, the lower body clothing for the women, which is going to be a need for their uniforms, polos, hats, golf balls, those are all necessities, and tees. So cutting out the shoes, it cut the cost down to $1,087.68. Boys tennis, tennis balls, I cut those down from 10 cases to 6 cases. I feel like that was reasonable and enough. It never specified how many came in a case. Ball cart, you're going to be able to haul them tennis balls somewhere. A ball machine, I cut that out. I feel like that's a want and not a need. You're going to need uniform, scorecards, a canopy, as tennis matches normally last all day. So the new total came out $1,430.69. Girls tennis, I cut out the tennis balls as the boys would be buying the cases. So I feel like I need to cut those out for the girls' budget. They need to buy their dress, their lower body garments for their uniforms, a club cart. I'm really not 100% sure on what that is. An easy toss machine, that was a lot cheaper than the actual ball machine that the boys wanted. So I'll go ahead and buy that out of their budget since they're not buying tennis balls, and both teams will be able to use that. So cutting those tennis balls out, it made a new total for $716.20. Boys cross country, I cut out 2 things, which was the backpacks. I feel like you can use your own way to haul your equipment, whatever you have. And then the tent, that seemed really pricey, so I cut that out. If a tent costs that much, you can have a parent bring one, or try to search around for a cheaper one, because I just feel like that was way too pricey of a thing to buy. The starter pistol megaphone combo, that's not bad, $99. Field paint, you're gonna need that when you host a meet. Measuring wheel, you're gonna need that when you host a meet. You're gonna need a cross country kit. Tops and shorts, you gotta look the same as a team, so those are a need. Directional flag poles, that's a need. So cutting those 2 out of the budget, the new total came out $1,747.39. Girls cross country, tops and shorts again, gotta look the same. Jackets and pants, those are be track warm-ups. Backpacks, I cut those out because, again, I feel like the student athletes can bring their own thing to carry their stuff in. Timing service, you're going to need one of those if you host your own meet. So cutting the backpacks out, cut the cost down to $2,149.65. Swimming, it's going to be important that you have locks for your locker so nobody steals your equipment, like the caps, your swimsuit, and your goggles, fins and pads. I cut out backpacks and a clock, just because I felt like the clock was really too pricey. I feel like you could find something cheaper. Backpacks, again, I feel like the student athletes can bring their own things to haul their personal belongings. Training classes, I cut those down from 10 to 5, which cut the cost in half. I feel like you can get everything covered in 5 classes. I know you're dealing with stuff in water. You need to take all the precautionary measures that you need, but I feel like you can do it in 5 class sessions. Warm-up jackets, warm-up pants, swimsuits, those are all necessities for swimming. With that, the new total came out to $2,393.72. So with that, as you see in the new budget, that cutting all this out, I cut out $91,666.87. So that came out a new budget of $90,801.66. Thank you.